Apprentice of the Shadows, Part 4, The Centurion. The Centurion steamed, flooding the chamber with warmth and fog. Heat prickled across my skin, instinct forcing me back a step. Claudia didn't move. She braced, shield raised, shoulders squared in that immovable way of hers. Her bear, who she fondly called Mauler, surged from the ether at her call. A massive, spectral form solidifying into flesh and fur beside her. Its roar ricocheted through the chamber, a challenge no machine would ever understand, but it didn't need to. It charged anyway. "Buy me time!" I shouted, already moving. Claudia's answer was a wordless battle cry as she and Mauler plunged forward. The Centurion reacted with terrifying speed, its hammer arm sweeping out in a broad arc. Claudia ducked beneath it, barely, but the blow caught Mauler full in the ribs. The beast tumbled across the stone with a pained grunt, but rolled back to its feet, growling low. I circled to the flank, daggers drawn, keeping light on the balls of my feet as the construct pivoted with that unnatural, perfectly balanced movement. No wasted motion, no hesitation, and no weakness my poisons could exploit. Fine, I had other tricks. The Centurion stomped once, hard. The ground shuddered. Claudia staggered. Mauler skidded sideways. I used the moment to sprint in, but a burst of blistering steam erupted from the Centurion's shoulder vents. I cursed and threw myself into a slide, skimming under the cloud, feeling the heat lick across my armor. I came up behind the machine, daggers ready, and struck for a seam beneath the backplating. Sparks flew. My blade barely nicked the surface. Damn it! The Centurion twisted with impossible precision, its hammer already descending. I threw myself clear as it slammed the ground where I'd been standing, stone bursting into shards. Claudia intercepted the follow-through, shield raised. The force drove her to one knee, but she held, always holding. "Go!" she barked through gritted teeth. I didn't waste the opening. I flicked a vial from my belt, this one filled with a vicious, shimmering blue fluid. Not poison, dissolution compound. Alchemical acid potent enough to chew through tempered Dwemer alloy, if given the chance. I vaulted onto the broken stone of an old pillar, using the extra height to launch myself at the machine. The Centurion shifted, too slow to fully adjust. I crashed onto its shoulder plating, fingers scrambling for purchase. It bellowed its horrible, grinding roar and began to spin. "Oh, no you don't." I slammed the vial down into the vent cluster behind its head. The glass shattered. The compound hissed violently, bubbling as it ate through metal. Steam geysered around me, scorching hot. Claudia saw it. "Saren, jump!" I pushed off an instant before the Centurion's arm swept upward, rolling in the air and landing hard beside Mauler. The beast huffed, nudged my shoulder once as if asking if I still lived. "Still alive," I said quietly, "working on staying that way." The Centurion staggered, gears grinding as the corrosion spread, but it wasn't enough to stop it. Not yet. Claudia charged again, striking for the knee joint. Her blade bit deep, deeper than mine could, and the machine lurched, balance compromised.
"There,"
she shouted.
"hit the seam while it's low."
I didn't think. I ran. Mauler slammed into its opposite flank, claws raking metal, forcing it further off balance. The Centurion reeled, dropping to one knee with a thunderous crash. I leapt, both daggers drawn, landing on the exposed rear joint. A vulnerable gap, finally. I drove one blade into the opening and wedged it hard, forcing the plating apart. The second dagger I used as a lever, jamming it deeper into the primary rotation gear beneath. The mechanism shrieked, metal ground against metal, teeth snapping as the joint failed. The Centurion spasmed once, violently, then collapsed, its massive frame crashing forward in a plume of dust. The light slowly dimmed, the metal creaking as it already started to cool. Silence rang in my ears. Claudia approached, catching her breath, resting a hand on the bear's broad back as it panted.
"You good?"
I yanked my dagger free from the ruined joint, shaking out my hand. "Define good." She smiled, small, tired, real.
"Alive?"
"Barely." Mauler snorted, which I decided to interpret as agreement. But the chamber wasn't quiet for long. Deep in the ruin, something groaned, old gears turning, ancient pressures shifting, mechanisms waking. Too many. Claudia and I exchanged a look. "Move?" I said.
"Move,"
she confirmed. We left the Centurion's corpse cooling behind us as we sprinted toward whatever waited deeper in Razak's wheel.